Hello, this video is in support of Jasmine Crockett. She's actually doing her job, the job of a congresswoman. Although she is in the House of Representatives and a Democrat, she is a co-sponsor of a bill, H.R. 8081, and this basically says to terminate U.S. Secret Service protection for felons. To expound on that, it reads, the Disgraced Former Protectees Act Bill. The removal of CIA protection from anyone guilty of a state or federal crime who has been sentenced to at least a year in prison. Its purpose is to make sure that taxpayers are not footing the bill to protect people who have clearly broken the law. Now, 27 Texas lawmakers and nominees have sent letters to Representative Jasmine Crockett wanting her to resign, claiming that she has forfeited any moral authority to represent Texas. Well, they don't speak for me, and the Republicans need to do their job. They need to shut up and do their job, because as far as I know, according to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, powers granted to Congress. The Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, excises, basically taxes on goods and commodities, to pay debts, which we owe over $30 trillion, and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. Number 2, to borrow money on credit of the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes. They don't even mention black folks, which was the foundation worth more than any commodity in 1860. In fact, their worth was $4 billion. But of course, a lot of times, black folks aren't seen in the Constitution or anything that really matters. But that yet, America was built on their foundation, labor, their worth. Number 4, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and inform laws on the subjects of bankruptcies throughout the U.S. And number 5, I'll quit here, to coin money, regulate the value thereof, of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures. As far as I know, the U.S. doesn't even do that for themselves anymore. And you can check that. But I read that just so we could be clear on a couple of things, because taxpayers have been footing the bill for everything that Congress wants to spend money on, but not exactly for our welfare. They've gone into Social Security and spent that money on things other than the people who actually paid into Social Security. So that right there shows that they're not acting in our best interest. And then when someone decides to do something that actually is in our best interest, because we should not be footing the bill for anyone who is a felon or breaks the law, because the law is supposed to apply equally for everyone in the United States, no matter who. But of course, we know that's not exactly how it works. Me as a black man, I understand that the law does not work the same way for me as it might work for a Caucasian man or woman. Irregardless, I'm going to say this. Taxpayers, it doesn't matter what color you are. We understand that there are things in place now. So far, it's speaking of the spending of our money, taxpayer dollars, for things that don't exactly benefit us. And now Congress acts like taxpayer money is theirs to spend as they wish with no oversight, and we are responsible for some of that oversight. But we have trusted people who we can't trust. So why in the world would we listen to 27 people who are Republicans when we have a Democrat that is standing up for what is right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. We've had women doing our job, and I'm talking about men right now, and especially black men. Jasmine Crockett makes me think of Mia Motley, Dr. Arikana, Dr. Pandora, okay? And ultimately, she makes me think about Kamala Harris. A lot of people have different thoughts about that because most of the time, they're not looking at the most intelligent and the best candidate. They're looking at the color of her skin. They're looking at her gender. But let me tell you something. Men, if you don't have someone in the game, why are you crying? You can't support your sister, your mother, your daughter, someone that looks like you. You rather go to somebody that actually mistreated you and have them run for president, and you know he wants to be a dictator. First of all, he's not even qualified for the office. I mean, in comparison to other people who served, okay? And let's be clear on something. Obama wasn't the first, and Kamala won't be the first person of color to be president of the United States. Never forget Abe Lincoln. And there were 4, 5, 6 other people. Okay? Now, in closing, I want to ask you, don't you think it's time to wonder what type of America you want to live in? Are you going to let people actually play us against one another while they do whatever they want with our taxpayer dollars and they profit off of that? What we're not seeing is the big picture. They keep blacks, whites, Asians, Indians, and everybody fighting against each other while they get rich. You see, we no longer have any control over our congressmen, men and women. They've been bought off. I haven't seen a poor congressman or woman in some time now, okay? And so part of the problem is us. We have to stand up for some time. This digital dollar that we're talking about, there will be no more hiding money, in your house and in the ground or under the bed. They will be able to track every dollar that you got, every transaction that you got. There will be no more privacy with your money. And when they decide to cut the switch, you'll have no money. They'll stop everything in the tracks. We have to understand that if we don't speak out now, we may not never have a chance. Thank you.